Absolutely incredible this evening. Everyone looks amazing. Everyone looks sharp, very stylish. Well done. Just to let you all know, we are going to start dinner at this very moment. So behind you all at the very back of the room, we have dinner set up. Please feel free to go over there, get in line, grab your plates. I believe we have salad, breadsticks, pasta, all that such. And then we'll get the festivities started for tonight just after dinner. But yeah, dinner is served. Please go ahead and serve yourselves. And thank you all for being here. Alrighty, good evening, everybody. We're about to get started in just a couple of minutes. This is kind of y'all's little 5-minute heads up. But yeah, feel free to keep grabbing food if you would like to. Get situated, right? Enjoy y'all's meals. But just to let y'all know, we're about to get started in about 5 minutes or so. Appreciate you all. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anthony Lee, and I am a senior majoring in mechanical engineering and general biology. I will be serving as the MC for tonight's ceremonies and would like to welcome you all on behalf of the Office of the Provost, the Center for Civic Engagement, the Center for Student Organizations and Leadership, the Compton Union Building, the Associated Students of Washington State University, and the Graduate and Professional Students Association. We acknowledge that we are meeting today as members of a community which stand on the traditional homelands of the Palouse bands of indigenous people and the ceded lands of the Nez Perce tribe. We further acknowledge their presence here since time immemorial and recognize their continuing connection to the land, to the water, and to their ancestors. Thank you. The President's Awards for Leadership was established in 1996 to recognize students' civic engagement, service, and leadership to their fellow students, and service to our local and global communities. For nearly 30 years, we've recognized leaders among WSU students and the faculty, staff, and the organizations that have supported and empowered those students. Tonight, we welcome you as we continue this legacy with the first annual Provost Award for Leadership. This is perhaps the most exciting time of the year, where we recognize the incredible effort and accomplishments of our student leaders, and we look forward to those who will serve in the coming year. Before we get to our awards program, we would like to invite up two individuals whose leadership is consistent with the values of Washington State University: ASWSU President Isaac Velasquez and ASWSU Vice President Grace Carpenter.
Thank you, Anthony. Before I really get into it, I just want to thank the mentors, faculty, staff, and most of all my fellow students who made this experience for me meaningful. Serving this campus has been a great privilege in my life and an experience I'll definitely never forget. My term went by very quick, but it's transformed me as a leader and as a member of the Cougar community, and I'm very proud of what we were able to accomplish. Going into this year, Grace and I wanted to focus on three main priorities: student engagement, community, campus safety, and basic needs. And while our specific initiatives may have changed throughout the year, I'm happy to say that this year has been more successful than I could have ever imagined. On the student engagement community front, our community and university affairs departments have done an amazing job with community leaders, university decision makers, and students, and building some of the strongest connections ASWSU has ever had. We've also had multiple events connecting with community members and the student community: a trunk or treat, Green Day, Police in the Park, most recently the first inaugural WSU Open Golf Tournament. We'll also be hosting Downtown Day, April 30th, so for you undergrads out there, I hope to see you out there on April 30th. It'll be lots of fun. We've also increased our student engagement within ASWSU, making our leaders more accessible to students and ensuring that our feedback systems are more effective. One initiative I'd like to shout out is the new unlimited New York Times subscription for all undergraduate students. For those attending WSU next year, you'll have access to all New York Times services after completing a small survey from ASWSU, so enjoy your unlimited Wordle. In our campus, yeah. In our campus safety initiatives, we saw a lot of need for further infrastructure and service to WSU students. It was a focus of ours to better provide feedback in what areas of campus needed work, but our biggest successes have come from our health and safety department. They've helped increase awareness around dating violence in collaboration with the Lauren McCluskey Foundation and provided trainings and services to students on various issues. For those of you who were here spring of 2024 or before, you might recall a system or a program called Cougar Safe Rides. That program unfortunately shut down a couple years ago, but through working with the DMAC Foundation, we're now able to provide 3 free Lyft rides to every student on campus. There's so much more that we accomplished, and I could be up here all night, but none of this was possible without the student advocates that are part of our executive team. I truly could not have asked for a better team to work with. And really quick, I just want to recognize those that are graduating, that have given service to our campus in various ways, and especially as an executive staff member. Mauro, Catherine, Leo, Crystal, Bargoff, Cade. Sam, Kelsey, Cameron, and last but not certainly least, our Chief of Staff, Lily. Thank you all so much. These individuals on our staff have impacted our Cougar community in ways that will be long-lasting. And even though we ran through the occasional 50-foot brick wall, we persevered. I'm so happy that I was able to share this journey with you, and I could not have done it with all you. I just want to give them, if you all could join me in giving them a round of applause for their work this year. All right. Now, while those leaders might be leaving, I can't express how confident I am in the next ASWSU leadership. Grace, I haven't had an opportunity to thank you just yet. I've had the opportunity to watch you grow and succeed as a leader. We've done a lot of good things together, and a lot of good memories and good impact made in planning a very ambitious year and reimagining the executive team and the occasional music parties during lunch breaks over the summer. And I just want to say that I know that Grace and Reed will continue to build the momentum that we built and continue to be a force of good for all students and the student Cougar community. I'm very excited to see what y'all do, and I'm making this promise for them, for everyone. Go visit them in Cub 314 next year, and when you find the time, their door will be open, right? Their door will be open to you. So with that, I'd like to invite Vice President-elect Reed Scott and Chief Justice Anna Kate McLaurin to come up and join President-elect Grace Carpenter.
All right. Will you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of my office,
that I will faithfully execute the duties of my office,
act with integrity, respect, and dignity,
act with integrity, respect, and dignity,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the Associated Students of Washington State University.
the Constitution of the Associated Students of Washington State University.
Congratulations, President Grace Carpenter and Vice President Reed Scott.
Thank y'all, long time no see. I hope y'all are having such a great evening tonight. I know that Reed and I are really excited to be serving all of the WSU students in this next upcoming year. To be honest, when Reed and I first saw the election results after the initial excitement really finally sunk in, there were two main things that fully sunk in and hit my mind. And the first being time goes by way too fast. And the second is, shoot, I have to speak at convocation and graduation now. Advocating for students, one thing, public speaking, not so much, but we're here. It's really forced me to sit down and think about what stepping into the position of ASWSU president actually means and what kind of president I want to be. It's not just a title or an office up on the Cub third floor or even speaking at fun student events like these, but instead about the culture that we're able to cultivate within ASWSU so others can become the best leaders and student advocates to serve the WSU community around us. I've learned through good example, Isaac, that a president's job is not just to create new ways to transfer knowledge, but it's also so we can continue that community and moving forward as student leaders, while we are acknowledging that I can also do nothing without the people around me and the community that supports me in that journey as well. When I look back on all the decisions that I've made throughout my time in college, by far the best one I've made so far is joining ASWSU as a freshman delegate, and then continuing my time to be involved ever since. Our academics, don't get me wrong, are absolutely amazing, but you need to be involved in more to not only have built the best experience you can for yourself, but also for the students around you. And I really think that ASWSU has been that foundation and has shaped me into the person and the president that I am now today. And it's really important that I have that privilege to be surrounded by all of the people that really help us get to the position we are today. I know Isaac already went over how many things we accomplished last year. And so obviously that was amazing. We did a great job. There is one thing that he did leave out, though, is Isaac is one of the best presidents, partner, role model, student advocate, and friend I could ask for. It has been a privilege learning from and working alongside him. And for the last 3 years, whatever career path he chooses, his future colleagues need to know 2 things about him. 1, he's going to dominate in any position. And 2, he's going to tell you a did you know fun fact that you didn't ask for but you so desperately will need in the future. Seriously though, Isaac, I am so incredibly proud of you, and I can't wait. I'm so incredibly proud of the president that you've become and can't wait to see where you end up. Senate has probably heard me say this a number of times, but it's still correct. Correct change is never done alone. It's always done with the people around you, and your voices are stronger together. No one remembers just a specific person once we're gone, or just the office that they sat in, but they do remember the impact and the feeling that ASWSU decisions or events had on their time and their life at WSU. Reed and I ran our campaign on student engagement, Cougar identity, and resource visibility. And these weren't just buzzwords for pillars for our campaign, but these were the 3 core pillars that we really thought were going and know are going to set WSU students up for success, and community that keeps them retained, enhances all WSU student experience, and also showcases the resources that every student here at WSU needs. Our main goal in stepping into these positions is to ensure we put Coug's needs into plans and then actions, advocating them at the state, federal, and administrative level, and really just make sure we're implementing long-lasting and impacting initiatives that continue long after we're gone. I can't wait to move into this next year with Reed and continue to build off of all of the accomplishments that Isaac and I and our exec really created for this year. And then, again, another big thank you to our exec for this year. They have been the biggest and best, most dedicated students I have ever met, and it is so inspiring to be able to see just how much they care about these students that they're really serving. And so for that, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve as your president for next year. Go Cougs!
Congratulations to Grace and Reed. We are all excited for the upcoming year and look forward to your leadership. Please join me in welcoming Graduate and Professional Student Association President Desmond Abuaji and Vice President Rose Maliki to the stage.
Thank you. You tried with the name. You know, it's always like that. Good job. We already discussed that it was going to be 1 speech for outgoing, 1 speech for incoming. So ideally, I would have just not spoken today, but this gathering is the biggest gathering of leaders, especially the ones that are close, right, student leaders. And so it feels really important to say something. And I wish I could just move on that same train and talk about all the good things that the connection between me and my vice president brought. But I'm going to speak a little bit on the other side also, you know, just because this is student leader gathering and we might learn a lot of things from what we discuss here also for the next year. We did accomplish a lot also. And actually, it's been good working with Isaac. Together, we've had a lot of discussions with the provost and the president, and we've made some very good moves also on there. It was here in the beginning that I stood and I mentioned some of the dreams that I want to accomplish for the association, and the biggest one was fundraising. Because, you know, the graduate and professional student, our dynamics is a little bit different. You know, most of us are international students, and we live on a very small stipend. And so majority of the effort of the association is focused on simple needs, right? Daily needs, food security, and so on. So it's really important to have a big base of fund. And I could not accomplish that dream, and it really hurts me up to this day. And we sat down and spoke about this before we started the administration, and so it became really pivotal point, a turning point for our administration. And I just wanted to talk about how it went for me as president. You know, I have been a student leader from high school. I was their president. College, I was student body president. And then here, I also tried to be GPSA president. And I was excited because I've had that trajectory, right? It's great to be involved in making decisions that will help yourself and your colleagues. It's really exciting when you get the opportunity. So I'll ask many of you to take over from Grace next year, if you can. But this year, we faced a little bit of a challenge that grew into a bigger one that cost me my presidency. And I speak about it lightly, but deep within me, it makes me so sad and so sick. Because when you run for positions, if you have good hearts like Isaac and Grace and whoever is in a position, whatever you want to do, your focus is on helping the people that voted you into power. So anything that hinders that ability becomes a challenge, and it's really deep on my heart. So just to cut it short, my biggest challenge this year was political differences, political opposition. And I remember when I was in high school, I used to be so mad about these things, right? When I read about Abraham Lincoln or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and why would you assassinate somebody like that has vision or aim that is supposed to help majority of the people, basically something that the people will benefit from. And then I get to college and then here, and I experience that deep within my own administration, and it really shattered everything for me. And if it is opposition that is on the other side, different party, Democrats or Republican, fine. But if it is an opposition that is so close to your administration, like president and vice president, it just makes everything difficult. And that was my biggest challenge this year. And so I'm just sharing this as the new presidents take over, work so hard to keep your team beside you, okay? I think that internal political opposition is really detrimental to your dreams and whatever you speak about that you want to accomplish. And you want to work hard to not have that difference. It's gonna break you apart. And it went on so hard that so many things, don't ask Matt about it. It was a massacre for me, and I don't want to experience that for anymore. And so that is why I did not run for re-election. I still have 3 more years in my PhD, but I decided to step away from it so that I don't have to go through all that. And so big wins we did. So we turned the GPSA around. And if you ask my Vice President of Legislative Affairs, we kind of turned things on his side, and it became a shining star. And we did that with a lot of other things also. This one thing blocked me, and I think that it is something that we should learn from and work hard to avoid. I just want to, before I end, I just also want to say that because of this, I admire the working relationship between Provost and the President, right? It's, you know, the connection, the ability to still move on, and there's big time changes that is going on in the system. And so to see that they're still working together to make that happen is just phenomenal. And I appreciate that. I look up to that so much. And I also want to end by saying that personally, and I discussed this with Isaac some time ago, but I support the little move of funds towards athletics to, you know, it's a move that is aimed to, if you get close and you speak to Provost and you speak to those who are actually making these moves, it's a move that is aimed at increasing recruitment, and that is at a bigger aspect or on a general scale that is supposed to help all of us in the long run. I am a scientist, okay? So I should be one of the people that should say, no, move it into academics or bring it into research and so on. But if you look at what the aim is, as the president of a student body, I can see what the direction is. And so I think that is not a bad move. And I just want to make my position on it clear before I end it here. Thank you all for listening to me. And have a good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I feel so proud to be the recipient of many of those comments, and I feel so proud to stand against dictatorship and shout hooray for democracy. Today, on the National Reach as High as You Can Day, we celebrate leadership, growth, and possibility. I would like to take a moment to reflect on reaching higher, not just as a personal ambition, but as a democratic act. Every time we dare to aim beyond what is given, we honor the very foundation of democracy. The belief that progress is possible, that voices matter, and no ceiling is fixed. Democracy does not thrive on comfort or silence. It grows when individuals challenge limits, question norms, and strive for something better, not only for themselves, but for others. Democracy is not something we simply have. It is not an accident, and it should never be taken for granted. It is the result of years of generations of people who chose to speak, to act, in many cases to sacrifice so that others could have a voice. So as leaders, if we choose to stay quiet to keep the peace, we should ask ourselves, whose peace are we keeping? What does that silence cost our community? Leadership is not about doing what is easy, it's about doing what is right, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it is inconvenient, and even when it is unpopular. As my term as the Vice President of Graduate and Professional Student Association comes to an end, I want to encourage the next leaders to hold on to their voices and to use it courageously. Because democracy depends on voices that choose to speak, especially when it feels easier to be quiet. And always return to your core, your values, especially when it feels hardest to do so. That is not only leadership, that is how democracy endures. That is how we can honor the work of those who came before us, and that is how we continue building democracy worth believing in. As always, go Cougs.
Thank you to both Desmond and Rose. And now to introduce your newly elected GPSA President and Vice President of Legislative Affairs, Bronwyn Valentine, Shay Ortega, and Ali Maliki.
Good evening, everyone. What an honor it is to be here, to be welcomed as the incoming GPSA cabinet. It was the greatest pleasure to work alongside such intelligent, driven people who showed me what leadership could and should be like. I am sincerely grateful for all of the hard work and guidance from our advisors and my peers on the GPSA Executive Board and in the Senate. Ali, Bronwyn and I are thrilled to continue all of your meaningful work on the ground in the Capitol. You've truly done so much. Rose, we commend you for your inspiring dedication to upholding integrity within GPSA and are truly grateful to continue the legacy of being so much more than just women in leadership. Your unstoppable advocacy and tenacity has changed what everyone should expect to achieve when we find ourselves in such privileged positions. Bronwyn, you showed such coordinated and collaborative leadership when you saw there was a need, and you didn't have to do that. Between Ali's unparalleled experience and success and Bronwyn's uplifting ambitions to address the mounting social strains and economic stressors on the horizon, we are thrilled and eager to get to work on prevention and response regarding food security, leveraging the $100,000 budget proviso Ali and I are working with Washington State Legislator Carolyn Eslick on drafting, on promoting and spearheading social change through Bronwyn's Emerging Restorative Justice Initiative, and mobilizing students to push the boundaries of what active participatory democracy looks like. Many of the most powerful political transitions towards peace and liberation were ignited in higher education by students, and Cougs are change makers with big dreams. We have dreams to achieve a world free of violence against diaspora, marginalized voices, and women. On the heels of International Women's Month, I am so proud to serve in this space with Rose as my predecessor and mentor in leadership and in former fashionable glamour, Ali as an ally, Bronwyn as my president, and a majority female executive board as we enter the 2026-2027 academic year with our empowering male allies at our side. To all of the female WSU administrators here with us today and students who are paving the way, I want to acknowledge that you made this possible by paving the way for us. We are honored to eliminate the phrase, "nothing can be done" when faced with injustice. We are replacing it with "anything is possible." So how do we get it done? Thank you so much to everyone here today, and go Cougs.
Congratulations, Bronwyn and Shay, and thank you to Ellie. We know that you'll represent your constituents well. We are honored to have Provost Chris Riley-Tillman with us tonight as our keynote speaker. Provost Riley-Tillman joined Washington State University as the Provost and Executive Vice President in July 2024. Prior to WSU, Dr. Riley-Tillman was the Dean of the College of Education and Human Development at the University of Missouri. He held the Joanne H. Hook Dean's Chair in Educational Renewal and was a professor in the Department of Educational, School, and Counseling Psychology. Please join me in welcoming Provost Riley-Tillman to the stage.
All right, Isaac, I'm going to do what I'm going to suggest you never do, and I'm going to go off script. And so any of my staff here are going to be like, "Oh God, what are you doing, Chris? Just can you stick with the script?" This weekend, I was fortunate to do the Experience WSU event, which if you go back for many of you 4 years, or some of you 3 years, might have been at one of those events. And I'm pretty sure Saichi and Michelle and the team will probably get somebody a little bit more exciting than me. I think the band did a better job. I mean, basically everybody did a better job entertaining people at 9 in the morning than me. But one of the things I really focused on was kind of a two-part deal of the opportunity that exists at a place like WSU, and particularly focused on the student leadership component. You've been here twice as long as I have, right? So if you think about time, you guys have far more of a WSU experience than I have at this point. I do have the ability to look at this over 5 universities now. And I'll tell you, it's a really interesting university in terms of the student experience and the student role within the day-to-day operations of how this makes works. Our student government, our student group is simply more impactful or more involved here than I've ever seen before. And I remember pulling out, at the Pullman Cabaret, did I have this right? And I'm like, okay, so athletics has got a table, that tracks, right? That makes sense. And the administration's got a table, and okay, sure, that tracks. And student government had 3 tables, right? 3 tables. I'm like, okay, so this is good. The students are just flat out crushing us in our local Pullman event. You guys have had phenomenal relationship with downtown, something we direly need to get better and better at. That's legitimate leadership. And watching those high school students, I guess I can call them kids. At what point I can't call people kids, I don't know. But then how that translates into 4 years later, it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's incredible. So I want to tell this a really quick story about kind of the smaller impacts or the smaller things that folks do that end up having a really large piece. And I'm super excited. Tini is at the table and here, and we were at the football game. And I'm sorry to embarrass you about this. I did say I was going to do it though, so right. And Cassandra Vogel and I worked probably the closest with our student region. So Amina this year, it's like you're reading the nice bio and it's Chris. It's not that special. I hang out with them all the time. It's not a big deal. But last year with Cassandra, and Tini and Cassandra, I would say cornered me, but like pulled me aside at the football game and like, listen, we need to talk to you for a few minutes. And I'm like, all right, okay, that sounds good. And I don't remember the first thing that you talked with me about, but it was like a pretty standard kind of a larger student issue that we needed to work on or something like that. And the second one was, okay, so I don't know if you know this or not, but we've got this program on campus called the ROAR program. And these are students that are, an important part of our of the campus culture. And if anybody doesn't, ROAR students are not degree seeking for the most part. Some are, but for the most part aren't. And there was a concern that they could not sign up for courses until the audit period started. And what that would mean is that they would show up on campus and could not actually get the COOG card and couldn't get kind of all of the different pieces that a student would get. And I don't know if you know this or not. I got a little choked up, and that'll make a little bit more sense in a little bit. But I remember looking at the two of you and was like, okay, you got me for 5 minutes, and I get the first thing, but your focus is on this group of 30 students. And do you remember what you said? No. You're like, well, they're COOGs, and COOGs support COOGs. And I'm like, oh man, okay, I've never seen this before, right? It's not a large enough group. So fast forward to August of this year, and I'm sitting in new parent orientation in ROAR, because my son is a first-year student in ROAR. And I think Christy, who's in the back, I think talked about how one of the exciting things that happened this year because of work of Dean Thomas Brown and Vice Provost Bill Davis and student government was that we transitioned so that ROAR students could sign up for classes at the same time as all other students. And the impact in that room was amazing, And this was a 5-minute conversation. It was making a priority of supporting other students there. And those are the type of profound impacts and profound changes that you have. Everybody looks at the big things and the big ticket items and did we succeed in this or did we succeed in this versus also just iteratively little details and differences in caring about your peers and your students. And so when I'm looking at parents on Saturday, and I know what they're thinking. My son went to college, something I never thought would be possible, went to college. And that's a rough 3-minute drive from my house here. And I found it utterly terrifying, right? When parents have their kids going to college, they're like, are they going to be in a supportive environment? And the faculty here are fantastic. The staff, student life, we have amazing, amazing staff at this university. But the student population supporting each other is something I've never seen before. Everybody's got a story about students supporting students, all that kind of jazz. The COOG supporting COOGs thing is a really legitimate, amazing thing that I'm just learning to be. And I couldn't possibly be more excited that my son gets to be a part of that. And again, not the biggest thing in the world, not a change that anybody would write an article about, or maybe they would, I don't know, something like that. But it was 5 minutes that Grace and Cassandra took to try to push something across that made a profound difference in many people's lives. And I'm sorry, I'm just embarrassed. It's Tania, Grace and Tania. I also thought you were in Hawaii and a 4th grade teacher, and you're in Pullman. I get it all mixed up, so I'll stop. Listen, as the chief academic officer, look, I just have to say with confidence, what you guys are doing, what your roles are, the way you carry yourselves as students, I guarantee you in 1992 when I was a student, and yes, I know none of you were born, and I don't need to hear that. That's fine. We weren't doing this stuff. I didn't see my peers engaging in a way that I've seen students this year engage. And I can't possibly tell you how proud it is for me to work here and to be in a place of where young adults are growing into incredible leaders and making differences in the lives of their peers in their university. It's a really, really special place. So I've now gone entirely off script and just been totally ridiculous here. But I want to say congratulations to everybody who's won an award. You've demonstrated what authentic student leadership looks like. And I'm just honestly really proud to be able to work at a university with incredible student leaders like those in the room, and then the faculty and the staff that support this to make it possible. So thank you very much, and as we all must do at the end of any presentation at WSU, go Cougs.
Thank you, Provost Riley Tillman, for your inspiring remarks. As you heard earlier this evening, we will be recognizing a variety of outstanding individuals and organizations within the WSU community with the Provost Award for Leadership. Before announcing the individual student award winners, we will announce the awards to student organizations, community organizations, and faculty and staff. With that, I would like to introduce Matt Shaw, Associate Director for the Center for Student Organizations and Leadership, and I'm supposed to say my favorite supervisor of all time, to the stage.
I highly doubt that's true. Okay. All right, so the Center for Student Organizations and Leadership supports nearly 400 registered student organizations by providing training sessions for officers, guiding them to ensure successful events, and supporting them on a daily basis. Student organizations truly make WSU such a special, vibrant place, and groups can amplify the efforts of individuals and create significant collective impact. Student organizations recognized tonight exemplify the notion that we can accomplish more together than we can alone. As your name is called, we invite you to come on stage, if you're able, to accept your award and then exit the stage to take a photo with Provost Riley Tillman. So first up, we have the Pre-Med Advisory Program. The Pre-Med Advisory Program, PAP, is guided by core values of collaboration, community, and inclusion, with a strong commitment to diversifying the future of healthcare. PAP is committed to addressing the growing shortage of healthcare professionals across the Pacific Northwest, particularly in rural Washington. By fostering early exposure, access, and sustained support for the next generation of healthcare leaders. Yeah, come on up. Through leading and participating in large-scale conferences, students engage with real-world challenges in healthcare access, particularly in rural and underserved communities. They are not just attending events, but actively creating them, taking on leadership roles that require initiative, collaboration, and service. Next up, we have the National Society of Black Engineers. The National Society of Black Engineers is a student-led organization dedicated to increasing the number of Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and make a genuine and positive mark on their communities. NSBE is guided by values of academic excellence, community impact, leadership, diversity, and professional integrity. These values are instilled through structured programming such as peer mentorship, leadership development opportunities, technical skill building workshops, and exposure to industry professionals. Participation in NSBE equips students with the skills, confidence, and professional networks necessary to advocate for equity, contribute to their communities, and drive meaningful social change. Congratulations to our 2 registered student organizations, the Pre-Med Advisory Program and the National Society of Black Engineers. Next, we will be recognizing local community organizations who empower and provide opportunities for students to lead in the greater Palouse community. Please welcome Amy Robbins, the Community Programs Coordinator with the Center for Civic Engagement.
Awesome, thank you. It's so wonderful to see you all. You look amazing tonight. Way to go. All right, as a land-grant institution, Washington State University has a long-standing commitment to the communities in this state. For over 30 years, the Center for Civic Engagement has worked with hundreds of community organizations, along with thousands of WSU students, faculty, and staff to improve the world around us. Each student we work with has the potential to create positive change, and the impact is amplified when they work with our partners in our communities. This year, we are celebrating 2 community organizations that work closely with students in enhancing their self-awareness and commitment to our shared civic life. Our first community partner, and just to let you know, both of these are very dear to my heart. Both of these people are very special, and I work with them every week and every day. So our first community partner is Daphne Starrett with Boost Collaborative. Boost Collaborative is a nonprofit agency that serves children of the Palouse with special needs. Their values center on ensuring that everyone has the opportunities they need to be successful regardless of their ability. As a community partner of WSU for many years, Daphne has provided experiences for WSU students to learn and gain hands-on experience working with people with disabilities. In the past year alone, WSU students have volunteered nearly 4,000 hours with Boost. That's an awesome number. Daphne and Boost truly embody what it means to be a reciprocal partner, and we thank you. And I don't think that Daphne's able to be with us tonight, so yay, Boost. All right, our second community partner is Sierra Beeler and the Humane Society of the Palouse. The Humane Society of the Palouse ensures the humane treatment, welfare, and safety of animals on the Palouse. Volunteering with the Humane Society of the Palouse is among the most popular ways for WSU students to get involved in the community, and they are truly moved by their experiences interacting and providing companionship to animals. Sierra provides students the chance to think about how they might engage in society to promote social change that benefits people and animals most impacted by injustice. Following Humane Society of the Palouse's motto of helping those who cannot help themselves. Thank you and congratulations to Sierra and the Humane Society of the Palouse. And I know, unfortunately, they are short-staffed, and I think they're full. The shelter is full, so I know that she cannot be with us tonight, but we appreciate both of our community partners. And now we will recognize faculty and staff who support and encourage our students to be active leaders on and off campus. Please welcome Jessica Peroni, the Associate Director of Engaged Learning at the Center for Civic Engagement.
Faculty and staff hold a unique and important position in developing leaders at WSU. They can inspire and empower students in their leadership journey, and tonight we'll be recognizing 4 people for their support of student leadership. First, Alyssa Kushluk. Alyssa, an advisor for TRIO support, student support services, exemplifies leadership rooted in service, integrity, and unwavering commitment to student success. As a proud alumna of Washington State University, she leads with a deep sense of institutional pride and responsibility to ensure that every student, particularly those historically underserved, feels welcomed, valued, and supported. Alyssa understands that engagement is built on trust, consistency, and genuine human connection, and she lives out those values daily. Thank you, Alyssa. Next, Dom Funga Auta. In his work with students in the APIDA Student Center and across all student centers and organizations, Dom consistently creates environments where students can grow into thoughtful, engaged global citizens. Rather than leading with a top-down approach, he collaborates closely with students, encouraging them to reflect on their goals, identify areas for growth, and ownership of their ideas. Through every interaction, he champions belonging, a student-centered approach, and fully embodies the Student Affairs mission of serving all students every day. Thank you, Dom. Next, Christy Tippett. In her role as director of WSU Roar, Christy consistently demonstrates reliability and integrity by being present, approachable, and willing to help with both routine tasks and unexpected challenges. She works closely with students and families, making sure they feel supported in their academic and personal goals. Christy's efforts to address barriers in accessibility reflect her belief in equitable opportunities and her commitment to doing what is best for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Thank you, Christy. Congratulations to our partners in the community and our faculty and staff on campus that provide opportunities and support for students to develop as leaders. Please welcome Haley Yamane Malhart, the Student Organizations and Leaderships Coordinator, and Dave Jones, CCE, Student Engagement Coordinator, who will present our student winners.
Hello, everyone. This year, we recognize 25 graduate and undergraduate students selected for their exemplary leadership and service at Washington State University and its surrounding communities. Our recipients this evening were recognized from over 130 nominations for this year's awards. What the student winners may or may not know is that we have 3 categories for their recognition. Most of our students, in fact 19 of them, will be recognized as distinguished leaders. 5 of them will be recognized for the Provost Award for Leadership, which comes with a monetary award of $500. Finally, 1 student will be recognized with the President's Award for Leadership, which includes an award of $1,000. As we recognize the students, we will announce names in random order so that we can all share in celebrating the different award winners as they are revealed live. With that, let's get started honoring our distinguished leaders at WSU.
Tatiana Trowers Norris. Tatiana serves as the senator for the Boylan College of Engineering and Architecture and as the president of the National Society of Black Engineers, where she focuses on advocating for students and creating supportive spaces for growth. Tatiana treats people with genuine respect, leads with empathy, and prioritizes community over recognition. Her leadership has strengthened organizational purpose, increased member involvement, and created opportunities that extend beyond campus and into the broader community.
Abby Toro. Abby serves as a project leader with the Center for Civic Engagement, where she enthusiastically facilitates service projects for WSU students in the community. She's cultivated meaningful collaborative relationships with numerous community partners, many of whom deeply value her commitment and professionalism. She's taken on a leadership role at the CCE, including guiding discussions and presenting information for other student employees at staff trainings. She's driven by purpose and compassion and dedicated to her peers.
Sarah Cooper. In all of her leadership experiences, including serving as the president of Stevenson North Hall, government and vice president of Alpha Delta Phi, Sarah focuses on creating spaces where others feel seen and significant. She brings ideas, creativity, organization, and leadership to the people she's working with. Under Sarah's leadership, several students shared that their hall government became a place where they felt comfortable being themselves while navigating their first year of college.
Asif Chowdhury. Asif serves as the Vice President of the Association for Bangladeshi Student and Scholars and consistently demonstrates integrity, responsibility, and a strong commitment to serving the community. Through his leadership, he actively promotes collaboration by encouraging inclusive participation in cultural, academic, and social initiatives that help international students adjust to campus life in Pullman. Asif leads through action and has made a positive impact for many people at WSU.
Rachel Woods. Rachel has served the past year as the vice president of the Biology Graduate Student Association. She played an integral role in several initiatives, including designing the SBS Graduate Student Lounge, coordinating her department's annual symposium, and organizing Family Fun Day, a community event that teaches children and families about science with engaging hands-on activities. Rachel's inclusive, hardworking, and focused on supporting others.
Next up, we have Avery Long. Avery has distinguished herself through her professionalism, work ethic, and commitment to building connections with other students as an ASWSU senator. She approaches difficult situations with a sincere desire to understand their perspectives. Rather than avoiding conflict, she engages constructively, seeking solutions that build trust and move work forward. Her curiosity, humility, and dedication reflect a leadership philosophy rooted in continuous development and meaningful contribution.
Cameron Penrod. As the president of the Boylan Student Ambassador Program, Cameron has worked with faculty and fellow students to create a charter and take ownership of the program. One example of his leadership is his creation and launch of a student-led committee to hire future mechanical engineering ambassadors. Cameron's tireless commitment and responsibility to strengthening his department have led to a new training initiative in Boylan to ensure successful recruiting practices.
Next up, we have Natalie Garibe Castañeda. Natalie has shown tremendous leadership in multiple organizations, including as a treasurer for MECHA, involvement in Katie Kai sorority, and as mentor in multicultural student services. She brings thoughtfulness, initiative, and reliability to every space that she occupies and generously shares her knowledge with others. Her collaborative mindset, commitment to equity, and ability to translate learning have made a tangible impact on both MECHA and the larger WSU community.
Chloe Coe. Chloe has served as both the Vice President of Finance and President of the Multicultural Greek Council and has found ways to advocate for and develop opportunities for the community. Through her efforts, resilience, and dedication, she's secured funding to plan and host important events for new members and even students from other universities. Chloe has also taken an active role in facilitating multiple workshops on leadership and collaboration, demonstrating her commitment to serving her community.
All right. Next up, we have Mauro Ramirez. In his multiple roles within ASWSU, Mario's led with integrity, humility, and an unwavering commitment to student advocacy. He's made a broad positive impact by working across student groups and with administrators and campus partners to advocate for policies and initiatives that directly benefit students. He's known for his thoughtfulness, his listening, and seeking diverse perspectives, and building consensus before advancing solutions. He's intentionally bringing others to the table to ensure long-term impact.
Katie Turetsky. Katie is an undergraduate researcher in the Delvich Neuroscience Research Lab and has become a leader among her peers over the past few years, serving as a mentor and celebrating others' successes. She never asks anyone to do something that she isn't willing to do herself and is always ready to jump in to help others with their projects. Katie fosters an environment in which all are empowered to succeed and serves as a model for a rigorous and dependable student scientist.
Next, we have Crystal De Los Santos. Through her hard work and leadership in many organizations, including the Filipino American Student Association, the Residence Hall Association, and ASWSU, Crystal's made a positive impact on others. One of her strengths is working with and understanding people from different cultures and experiences. She empowers others through listening, encouraging ideas, and working through challenges together to achieve shared goals.
Deborah Fabii. Deborah has made a significant impact on others in her roles as a passport to college advisor and international student peer mentor. She serves as a mentor, advocate, and role model for students who are looking to support to succeed. Deborah pulls from her own experience as a first-gen student to empower others and help them see their own potential, valuing leadership as a practice shaped by the people she works with.
Next, we have Kate Yoon. Kate co-founded and served as the co-president of a newly formed RSO, the STEM Leaders and Innovators Association. With a personable approach, she makes connections with other students, serving as a mentor and opening doors for them with research and pre-med opportunities. She works to make STEM and healthcare more inclusive and efficient for everyone in the Pullman and Moscow communities.
Jillian Britch. Jillian serves as the president for the Pre-Vet Club at WSU and has played an integral role in dramatically increasing student participation in the organization through active club meetings, bringing in live animals, as well as veterinarians in non-traditional careers. She's also been very involved in the community, serving at Bishop Place, Whitman County Humane Society, and Whitman County Public Health. Jillian exhibits what it takes to be a leader and a difference maker among her fellow students in the community.
Next, we have Diana Rodriguez Peña. Diana serves as the president of Alpha Nu Multicultural Sorority, and it strives to ensure the well-being of others by promoting sisterhood and connection. Following her values of feedback, transparency, and making a positive impact on others, she helped to cultivate a welcoming and empowering environment. Diana also demonstrates leadership through her involvement with the Compass Mentor Program, often studying or building community with many students in the Multicultural Student Center.
Gunit Kaur. As the vice president of the Girls Who Code student organization, Gunit leads with a quiet confidence, integrity, and a deep sense of responsibility. She believes that leadership is about expanding access and creating space for others, especially women in technology, to succeed. Gunit has also served as an ASWSU senator representing the Honors College, showing her technical competence and also her ability to build systems to empower others in the community to thrive.
Isabella Bobak. For the past 3 years, Bella has worked as a project leader at the Center for Civic Engagement and has built meaningful and long-lasting relationships with numerous partners in the community. In her role, she facilitates service projects alongside other students, instilling a sense of civic responsibility. She demonstrates leadership in her sorority, modeling integrity, kindness, and a commitment to service, setting a high standard for what it means to be a student leader committed to positive change.
Gagandeep Kaur. Gagandeep has served others in several capacities, including as a GPSA senator, president of the Indian Students Association, PR chair for the Sikh Students Association, and vice president of the Crop and Soil Sciences Graduate Student Association. Her leadership fosters community, supports academic success, and strengthens the culture at WSU. Gagandeep has made a positive impact on many, and across all of her roles, she's led with empathy, initiative, and empowered others.
Congratulations to these students recognized with the Distinguished Leader Award. We're all proud of you and your leadership at WSU. Next, we will honor 5 students with the Provost Award for Leadership, and I'm pleased to introduce Vice Provost for Student Affairs, Ramondo Nash, who will present these awards.
Good evening. I'm honored to present the students who will receive the Provost Awards for Leadership on the Pullman campus. These 5 students have contributed to the student experience in ways that will outlast their time at WSU. The first student we're recognizing is Ali Maliki. As the GPSA Vice President for Legislative Affairs, Ali not only laid a significant effort in advocating for students, but also getting other students involved in the process. He organized Coug Day at the Capitol, recruiting and training 18 student advocates, and coordinating 30-plus targeted meetings with legislatures and key committee staff to keep graduate and professional student priorities visible in Olympia. One long-lasting impact Ali made during his time was developing a sustainable structure for student advocacy, including schedules, briefings, and a tracking system so that students in the future can continue to be strong advocates. Thank you, Ali. Jojo Maestas. JoJo has exemplified active leadership in many capacities at WSU, including roles as ASWSU Deputy Director of Diversity, Inclusion, and Veteran Affairs, as ASWSU Senator, and as a member of the SNA Fees Committee, and as a member of the URAC Advisory Board. He's learned through these experiences that leadership is rooted in responsibility and representation. Leadership means using your voice and experiences to create pathways for others. As a first-gen student, JoJo leads with empathy, accountability, and a commitment to making higher education more accessible for students who have also faced challenges. Luis Morales Carrera. Luis has made a significant impact as the founder and president of Project Erase, a nonprofit organization and registered student organization at WSU, which focuses on fighting educational inequality and supporting youth in Guatemala. Luis and his peers fundraised and organized workshops and built partnerships with 13 other student organizations to raise awareness about global education disparities. Just this year, Project Erase supported 80 kids, sending them over 4,000 school supplies. In addition to his work with Project Erase, one of Luis's goals is to help other WSU students in finding their passion, which he puts to work in his peer mentor position at the Center for Civic Engagement. God Trust Your Honor. God Trust serves others in many ways, including as an ASWSU senator and as the secretary of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers. He draws on his experiences to build consistency, accountability, and participation within those organizations. God Trust believes that leadership is most effective when vision is combined with humility, confidence with collaboration, and ambition with accountability. Elias Silva. Elias has worked for 3 years at the Cougar Food Pantry, first as a pantry assistant and currently as the AmeriCorps Basic Needs and Student Success Coordinator. His leadership has directly strengthened the pantry's ability to serve 3,000 students each semester. Eli mentors and collaborates with student staff, volunteers, and campus partners to ensure that students receive consistent, respectful support. He's played an integral role in developing many community service events, including the MLK Food Drive, Winter Break Boxes, and Peer Health Education Meal Kits. Eli approaches leadership with accountability, compassion, and a strong commitment to equitable access. Congratulations to these 5 students on receiving the Provost Awards. Now, I would like to recognize one student with our most prestigious award, the President's Award for Leadership. And now, I am honored to present the President's Award for Leadership to Audrey Elliott. Audrey has made a huge impact both on and off campus through her commitment to service and leadership. She has served as the president of the WSU Country Swing Club, the largest RSO on record at WSU, and has developed it into a welcoming space for students to build community, reduce stress, and learn new skills. Audrey has shared her skills and passion in the community as well as a line dance instructor at the Colfax Senior Center and with youth in 4-H programs. In all, she has served more than 280 hours in the community with a variety of community partners, including Phoenix Conservancy, Palouse Habitat for Humanity, the Community Action Center, and the Palouse Discovery Science Center, among others. Audrey stands out as a student who genuinely cares about the well-being of others, health for her community, and environmental justice. Congratulations, Audrey, and thank you.
Well, good evening. My name is Brian Shawfield, and I serve as the Executive Director for Student Engagement Services. And for our final presentation this evening, I'm very honored to present the Virginia E. Thomas Endowed Scholarship for Leadership, Coaching, and Mentoring. The winner of the Virginia Thomas Award is guided by a commitment to excellence, embodied in a set of core values, and nominees for this scholarship must first be considered for the President's Award for Leadership, based on their leadership experiences and qualities relative to inquiry and innovation, excellence, character and integrity, stewardship. This scholarship is bestowed upon a WSU student with at least a sophomore standing who is, in addition to commitment to inquiry and innovation, excellence, character, and integrity, that they also demonstrate the ability to inspire others, knowledge of leadership concepts, innovation, leadership coaching, and mentoring to others, as well as membership and participation in a registered student organization. So this year's recipient absolutely embodies these values and will certainly continue to mentor and inspire others in the coming year as he serves as a resident advisor, a peer mentor for the Center for Civic Engagement, and as the president of the RSO Project Erase. Please join me in congratulating this year's $2,500 scholarship winner, Luis Morales Carrera.
Thank you all so much for being with us to honor these outstanding individuals and groups tonight. To all the honorees, organizations, and advisors, your engagement and service within the WSU community speaks loudly about who you are and about the friends you now have in an elite group. Before we conclude, I would like to invite all of our amazing winners to the stage so that we can get a group photo. Remember, leadership is not all about a position, but instead about your actions. Go Cougs!